Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's your Rodfather 916. Last night, a friend of mine called, or should I say early this morning. My friend takes a photography class, and it's pretty diverse. And in this class, the teacher who's in his 70s, I believe. So I'm not getting all this right. Just don't hold me to it, including the person who shared this with me. Don't hold me to everything. It was late and I'm old. I always use old because it's convenient. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it. I was old. I'm old. But anyway, they're having a discussion, and in a discussion, there was a trans individual who said, and again, I could be getting some of this wrong, um, that he was misunderstood and he took up a lot of the class time, sort of almost holding the class hostage with his story. And I remember being irritated by that. Um, because we have a generation, am I old? Yes, I am. But we have a generation there that's sort of making things complicated. This is my opinion, doesn't mean that I'm right. Making things complicated. I've gone online to participate in discussions, done podcasts where I was a guest, and somebody says, "What's your pronoun?" What? What do you go by? Rod or Rodfather? No, 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 pronoun. Rod or Rodfather. That's what I go by. You choose. Big guy if you want to use. I'm okay. I hate when things are just complicated, unnecessarily complicated. I mean, what's wrong with Rod? It's okay. And I remember one discussion, I think I was on TikTok or something, and the person was going on and on and on about it. We're talking about like 1 or 2 minutes. And there are all these other people who had things to say, and I just went, I'm out of here. It doesn't mean that I'm insensitive to their plight, to their journey. Doesn't mean that at all. In fact, we've all had journeys, we've all had struggles. I'm amazed when I hear people of color, gay people, say, well, I don't talk to those groups, I don't hang out with that group, so I don't want to be around those group because they haven't struggled the way we have. They didn't go through slavery. They didn't, and often these people who making these declarations about what they don't know anybody that's different from them outside of, once or twice and an occasional getting. How do you know what their struggle is? How did you reach that conclusion? In the 60s, there was a song called You've Got Your Troubles, I've Got Mine. So, who determines and why is it important that your struggle is more intense than my struggle? Who sets the bar? Who makes that decision? And why is it so important? Can't we just get to know each other? I have friends from different hues, different backgrounds. I have friends who was born with money. I have friends who have money. I'm minus $5 in my checking account probably. And the person with money has more options, but they have the same problems as the person who's minus $5. Issues with their kids, with their siblings, with their parents, being misunderstood, the whole 9 yards. But yet people often make that determination as like they haven't been through what we have. They haven't suffered as much as we have. How do you know this? This is one of the things that troubles me because I have friends from many backgrounds, different hues, and I don't know their plight. I don't assume I do. But you don't have to tell me your whole history. Don't make that a requirement to be a friendship that I have to tell you my whole history so you know what it's like being black. My friendships start organically. Hi. Most of them say hi. How you doing? My name is Rod. I've had a friend from Sweden for over 20 years. We were talking Saturday, or no, last Thursday. And he said, we've long known each other over 20 years. I said, that's crazy. We met at the airport, and some person was just having a meltdown. An epic meltdown. I mean, he was throwing luggage off the carousel. Some of the luggage was opening. He was falling into the stuff that came open. He was falling down. Every time he fell down, there was something broken, so he had to inspect what it was. And we looked at each other and that's how our friendship started almost 21 years ago. He didn't tell me about his history with his family and how they immigrated from another country into Sweden. He didn't know what I'd gone through with my family, my experiences. That happened over the years. I'm still learning. And my journey is not more important than his. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. People live in bubbles. They struggle meeting with somebody different. And again, this is my opinion, doesn't mean it's true for everybody. But a lot of people don't, they struggle meeting people who don't look like them, a different race, a different background, because they assume they're going to be misunderstood, or maybe they'll make a mistake of some time. But the reality is, if that person knows you, they know your intent. Intent is everything. I've been at parties where this person wanted to get me angry, wanted to say, "Oh, I've got the black guy mad." Not happening. Not happening at all. I could tell by your tone what your intent was. And I walked away. And he followed me, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to the bathroom where it'll be you and I. Do you really want to come in the bathroom with me?" When I said, "I don't want to talk about this anymore. We can talk about everything. We don't talk about politics." And he found Jesus. And he stayed his ass out the bathroom, because I sure was. I was going to give him a tour of Italy in that bathroom. Just he and I. But most people, I make mistakes with my friends who look like me. I make mistakes sometimes with my children. They're misunderstandings. Intent, tone. But if you make it a prerequisite to be your friend, I have to know about your history, and I have to listen to you as that one kid kept that class hostage. I don't think we have a future. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But we're not going to probably have much of a future. If I'm obligated to listen to your story to be your friend, let's just let it flow organically. And then let me ask the question, wow, what was that like for you? Wow, I had no idea. Life is too short, and right now I don't have the patience for complicated. And I'm not going to be rude, because I really like people. I really, and really, 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 and truly do. I like meeting people. I like hearing different backgrounds. Yeah, I've been on Eurail, and where a lot of people speak English, but there's some places where they don't, and yet we were able to communicate. Little things like that. Life is too short. Speaking of life and trying to keep this short, what do you think? Email. I am going to get, I swear, I've been talking about this a long time. My email address is therodfather916 at AOL.com. I thought it was on Excite. Who knew Excite went out of business? That's why I was getting all these other messages. I couldn't figure out why I was getting all of this. Excite is no more. I'd like to hear what you have to say. You don't have to agree with me. The only thing I ask you to do is try not to get into arguments with a stranger on my thread. Not that important. But if you disagree with me, if not, that's not a prerequisite. You can just tell me what you think. Meanwhile, this is Rod, Father, wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. I'd appreciate it if you like, subscribe, do all of those things that will grow this network. Share it with people that if you think this is a conversation that somebody will benefit, or maybe you can expand this conversation, that would make this big guy just happy. Happy. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. This is Rod, Father, and I'm out. Please take care. Bye.